What is up, players? It's War Boss Tay up in this mug. Why don't we do something fun today and unbox the Skaven Deathmaster? It is a plastic model for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but hey, guess what? I'm going to be throwing him onto a 25mm base, and I'm going to be putting him into the old world. So you can either put him on the round that he comes on, because he's got Age of Sigmar branding, so he's going to be on a round base, but I decided to put him on a 25mm textured square base. I'll put a link for this down below. It will allow you to put any of your infantry size models onto the appropriate base for Warhammer Old World, which they've revealed a couple months ago now, that the infantry size models, human size infantry, will be put on 25mm. They're getting rid of the 20mm bases so that you can have bigger looking units. They'll each get their own space on a base, which I like. If you've got, 200 clan rats and you've got them all on 20mm, they're going to look really crowded, really bunched in. But this allows you to have more of a scale and a bigger scope for your units than keeping them on 20s. So 25mm is the way to go. And I'm going to be taking a look at the sprue. This is the paint job. It's a beautiful Clan Eshin paint job. You know it's Clan Eshin not just because of the shuriken, but because of all of the black and dark blue. So the good thing about this is, looking at the model, I know right off the bat that I'm going to be using black as a base coat or a primer, and then building up the colors. Dark, dirty black is going to be highlighted with gray and brown grays, and this dark bluish black is going to be highlighted, of course, with dark blue colors. Then he's got a nice burgundy wine colored head covering there, and that creates a nice little contrast. It's not actual red, it's more of a dark purple red wine color, which is a really good dull contrast, so that you're not creating too much of a pop in color when you're going to be painting your Skaven. This is a beautiful model. And here's a second look at him from the side. The only silver is going to be this looks like little claw. Is this a claw, or can't tell if that's a claw or like little knives. Then he's got his belt buckle, the shoulder armor is going to actually be painted black with silver highlights to create this dark iron effect. And the silver shuriken, silver on the knife. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at the instructions before we dive in. Very simple. Everything looks like everything is being used on the sprue. No options. Yeah, there's no options for substitutions. It's all right here. It's part of Games Workshop's way of cutting costs and making something using the premium amount of space that you have on the sprue. Looking at the sprue itself, you've got, which is the best way that we're going to take a look at this here, the back of his hood, half of his face. This looks like his arm for the knife. The stonework for this is really, really cool. And it'll fit both Age of Sigmar and the Old World, because this twin-tailed comet is very much like Old World style. I like that it's spread out. I made a video a while back on how I thought this pose was, or the scope of this Skaven is so much different. He's like human shaped with a rat head and a rat tail. Like his limbs are long, and you can see he's like spread legged, propped onto this piece of masonry. And when you compare that to a Skaven from the Island of Blood set, they're a lot smaller, right? He's gonna look a lot different. In fact, I've got one of these I can pull out to show just the amount of disparity between the size in this character and the size of this clan rat. Now with orcs and goblins, the fiction is that the orcs and goblins, the bigger and the meaner they get, or the meaner they get, the more successful they are at fighting, the bigger they get. But Skaven, I don't believe they have any mutation rule, except that some of them eat so much warpstone it bulks them up or makes them bigger. There we go, got a little bit more light, and we could take a look at his cloak. I love the tatters, I love the layering, and the detail on his little rat tail with all the extra stabby bits. Looks really nice. Yeah, overall this is a great looking figure. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut to a live video. I'm gonna build it up live and then we're gonna show it off at the end. So stay tuned through the magic of YouTube as we jump forward in time. All right, players, we're back and we built up the Skaven Deathmaster. Had a great time. Did a live video that lasted 35 minutes long. It ended up in the end just devolving into just hilarious chaos. A lot of fun digging through my old collection of miniatures. I don't know if many of you know this, but when we moved from our last place to where we are today, a lot of my miniatures had to be just put very randomly into different storage containers. So I was taking out different miniatures from way back when I first started painting as a young little boss, and I just had so much fun going through. I'm not gonna show any of them really, but look at this guy. He's great. Little War Boss Tay painted this when I was maybe like 13, 14 years old. Threw some sand on the base, not even like approved miniature sand, but just sand I grabbed from outside my house. And everything is just so silly. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you stay tuned for more. We're gonna be doing some kind of, I'm experimenting with some kind of live show where I keep this hourglass going in the background, kind of as a way to track my time, but also as something fun and interesting. And I think the live video today helped me a lot to organize my thoughts on how I want to structure that. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.